Hi everyone, welcome back to yet another live Q&A. I'm just waiting for the feed to come up, and if everything looks good, we can start the live Q&A. So if you have already joined and if you can hear me and if everything is working fine, please do let me know in the chat. At my end, everything is looking good. The stream health is also fine. So yeah, everything is looking good at my end, but if there are any issues at your end, please do let me know. I will take a look. So let's wait for people to join, and we received some questions in Telegram group, so the audio seems good for now. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, we received few questions, pointers in Telegram group, so I thought I will touch bases on that first before we start taking up any questions. And Saeed, if you have joined the live Q&A, feel free to ask follow-up questions in the chat. So I will just give you a brief overview of the scenario and what the question is. So Saeed has got an admission in MSc Health Data Science at University of Birmingham. So University of Birmingham in general is a good university, very reputed university. But I think his uncle and aunt, they live in the UK for well over half a decade now, and they both are doctors. And when he told them um, this news that he has got an admit, they weren't really uh, happy with that, is because um, they think that there aren't enough opportunities for locals, let alone the foreign students. So I think, yeah, it is true up to some extent, but I think after that he made few points. He started his research. Before I go on to that, I think the exposure is just too much, and it all of a sudden it just became quite sunny. So if everything is way too bright for you guys, I'm sorry, but yeah, it was quite gloomy just a minute before, but now seems like the sun is starting to come out. Hey Athar. So yeah, he started doing his research to understand how the job market is, and he mentioned few points. So the first one is, just because you finish a degree even with the good grades doesn't mean you will land a job. You need real work skill, which you have to develop along with your master studies. And I totally agree with that. If you truly just rely on the course curriculum of a university, it will become very difficult, because if you think for a second that there are other 100 students as well in your batch, they're doing the exact same thing, and on top of that there are a lot more other students in different universities, they are also doing the same thing, then what is it different that you are doing, and why you are the one who will stand out from rest of the crowd? So you'll have to do something differently. And to do those things, I have made like several videos on my channel. So if you go to the video section and if you just simply scroll, you will see a lot of different type of projects. You will see a lot of different tips and tricks that you can use to find a job, and how to apply to different roles, and just in general the job market. So I highly recommend checking out some of those videos. And during this whole live Q&A, I will try to find some of those videos and I will put it in the chat as well, just so you can go and watch those videos for more information. The second point that he made was networking is very important. And yes, it is very important, because yes, you can apply for a lot of jobs on LinkedIn, but recently I saw some of my batchmates, one person joined that company, I'll just call it ABC, I'm not going to name that company's name, and then within a span of, let's say, 6-7 months, few more people joined that company from the same batch, and they were really good batchmates, and they were in one group. So you can see that if you know someone, if you have made good relationships, And if you are comfortable asking for these kind of things, and if the person who is already working in the company is comfortable to provide you some referral, I think you will be able to get a job. So referrals and networking definitely helps, and there are a lot of different ways of networking. Again, I have talked about these things in depth in, I think, the most recent video. So yeah, again, networking is very important, and if you simply rely on applying for jobs on LinkedIn and other platform, it can be very difficult because everyone does that. It is the first thing that anyone would do if they are looking for a job. Have interesting side projects to internship, place that on GitHub. Yes, having a good profile definitely helps. Well, not helps, it's one of the crucial things that you need to have, especially as a developer and as a data scientist. Having a GitHub profile and LinkedIn profile is very important. So I highly recommend developing those things. Don't ignore them when you work on a project, be it your master's project or any pet project that you are currently working on. And if you think it has a real implication, and even if it does not have real implication, if you're just working on the project just to learn few things, I still recommend pushing those projects to GitHub. That way you will be able to showcase your competence and your proficiency with your coding and those kind of things. So yeah, that is very important, and having online presence on LinkedIn is definitely very helpful, because your CV can tell only so much, but you can tell quite a lot of things from your LinkedIn profile as well. So do work on that as well. So I totally agree to third point too. I see in the chat we have Sai. Last time I know your offer letter revoked. Did you get any job? Um I think Sai, it was a long time ago, because I've been working um, as a data scientist and now senior data scientist for 2.5 years now. So yeah, I was able to find a job. So thanks for asking. And the last point that he made was, even after that, foreign students are not given the first priority. And yes, yeah, foreign students are not given the priority because of a lot of different restrictions, like visas, extra fees, and salary threshold and things like that. So it is becoming harder and harder for graduates to find a job, especially if you're coming from other country. But I have talked to a lot of hiring managers and people who are working in the industry, and their concern is less about hiring people from the UK or outside the UK. It's just they're not able to find uh, good candidates. People put a lot of things on their CVs, but when they start talking to people, they realize that they lack even the basic stuff. So that's why I always talk about, and I always emphasize on having a strong foundation. Yes, having knowledge about all the advanced topic is definitely helpful, and you need to have that. But if you don't have a strong foundation, all those things are just fancy stuff, and you might not even reach to a point where interviewer will ask you question about those things, because you will not be able to answer the questions in the first phase itself, which is the foundation. So try to focus on basics, and once you think you have a strong foundation, then work on all the new technologies, because that's what a lot of companies are using. But if you think that you'll be able to get away with just those things, um, it won't really work that well. And also, I think few months back I made a video where I talked about only 3% of the companies make use of post-study work visa. A lot of companies don't even know that something like this exists. So that again makes things a lot more challenging for candidates to find a job. So if you are on a post-study work visa, and if someone asks, usually in their form they ask, do you need a visa? um I would say maybe mark as no, because at that point you don't really need a visa, because you already have it and you can work on that particular visa. And once they give you a call just for introduction, then you can obviously discuss about what is your current visa status and things. And if after that they choose not to go ahead with you, that's perfectly fine. At least you were able to get that first call and was able to talk to them and explain your scenario. That way you will also be able to evaluate quite a lot of things there, such as what kind of questions they ask and whether the visa status is that crucial or not. Because when you are applying for a job and when you're filling a form, and if they ask do you need a visa, and if you put yes, they might automatically assume that you might already be on let's say skilled worker visa, and if you leave your current company and if you're joining that company, they will have to provide you sponsorship. So they might not know that you are eligible to work in the UK without a sponsorship because you're already on a skilled worker visa. Oh, sorry, you're already on a post study work visa. So yeah, I think if you still have time, like more than a year, I would say mark no, because it doesn't do any harm anyways. Because if they have to reject, they can always reject you after the first call itself. So yeah, those were some of the things that were mentioned in the chat in Telegram group. I'm just trying to look at if I missed anything. And I think the closing statements were, if I'm ready to put in effort and I'm ready to work on all the projects and things like that, will I be able to find a job? So one thing I would like to mention is that if you don't have any experience and if you are a fresher, it will still be very difficult because there are other people with lot of industry experience in the market trying to find a job, and they might be doing similar things as well. If they are not, then obviously you will have good chances over that. But considering how competitive the job market is, I'm sure they might be doing the same things as you do. But of course, I talked about a lot of interesting things which I'm not seeing a lot of people doing in my recent video. So that video should definitely give you some good insights what differently you can do. So yes, if you put in a good amount of effort and if you keep your head down and keep working towards all these skills, I'm sure there will be a point where you will be able to find a job and make a big breakthrough. So yeah, it should work out. But again, I would like to reiterate, if you don't have experience, it can be difficult to find a job in this competitive job market. All right, I think that was a pretty detailed answer to those points, and I hope Said will be able to get some information out of this if he chooses to join the live Q&A or if he's already here or not. Right, so now I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing one more question, I think, from Atharv. Bro, so MS in AI in 2026, is it good time then? MSc in AI is definitely good, is because a lot of companies, they are investing quite heavily in the field of AI. So if you build some skills in the AI domain, that is definitely going to help, and AI is not going anywhere anytime soon. So be 26 or 27 or 28 or even 2030 or beyond that point, it's only gonna evolve and develop. So if you start picking up skills now, I'm sure it is going to help. So yes, it is definitely good. But from job perspective, like I said, having some work experience under your belt definitely helps. So if you have time now to gain some internships and job in your home country, I highly recommend doing that, because that will help you more than just a degree when you're looking for a job after your masters. Also include like I work as for Gen AI and AI agent, including PAL. Yeah, when you say AI engineer, it includes all these things: working on Gen AI, building AI agents and agentic AI frameworks, making use of MCP, these kind of things. So it includes all those things. But if you are asking it from MSc course content perspective, I don't know, because I'll have to see the course content of a specific university and which university you are interested in. So we'll have to take a look at the course content, what all things they are covering as part of MSc AI. So Yeah, that I can't comment, but definitely if you are looking for a job as an AI engineer, you will be working on all those things. But do keep in mind that if you want to be an AI engineer, if you think that you just need to learn Gen AI and AI agents, how to build those things, building those things are very easy, yes. But when it comes to making changes and making decision on architecture level, then you need to know a lot of fundamentals as well, because recently I've been working on a project where I have to process a lot of data using Gen AI. And while Gen AI is really good at serving as a Q&A or less number of requests, it works fine. But when I have to process a lot of data, it is it is very slow. If I had to do something similar using traditional machine learning or deep learning, I think it will be relatively fast. But with Gen AI, with API calls and all, it is very slow. So I had to engineer the whole pipeline in a way that it takes less time using multi-threading and all those things, and then use some fail-safe methods to store the intermediate results and things like that. So I had to do quite a lot of data engineering side of things as well to be able to get that thing done. So you can say that it's a role of AI engineer to maybe process that data, build AI agents and things like that. But if you think that you'll be able to get away with just those things without knowing the data engineering side of things or other data related skills, then it might be a little tricky for you to work on some projects and things like that. Like salaries, bro, expectations. So salary ranges from 30 to 35,000 pounds, sometimes 40,000 pounds. If you are, when I say 40,000 pounds, mainly probably in London, because London is very expensive. So if you are a fresher, don't have any experience, your salary can range between that. If you have some experience, let's say 3 to 4 years of experience, your salary can range from 40,000 to 50,000 pound, and definitely more than that in London. So that's the brief idea about the salary. Water break. I recommend you guys also take some water break. Stay hydrated. Bro, I'm working as an AI engineer, and so I wish to have two thoughts, either 26 or 27, USA or UK, and expect downfall for Mr. Trump. It's UK, bro. Yeah, I understand. Trump is making things a lot more harder for everyone, even for people in the US and US citizens. So yeah, he's a tricky one. Yeah, I mean it. If you're working as an AI engineer, I recommend gain some more experience. I don't know how much experience you have, but if you already have like 3 4 years of experience, then you can go for masters in 2026. But if you have like 1 or 2 years of experience, then I would recommend 2027. And yeah, in US salaries are definitely higher, but then medical expenses are quite expensive, and other things are also very expensive. And if your long term plan is to get a PR and probably settle, it's a lot difficult in US as compared to UK as of today. But things can change in the UK as well next year. during April time, because they are suggesting that you need to be in the UK or you need to be on a skilled worker visa for 10 years to get UK PR. So if they choose to implement that next year by April ish, then it will be difficult in the UK as well. But still, it will be a definite timeline rather than in the US. It's more like you just wait indefinitely until your chance comes. So you don't know exactly how much time you need to wait there to get your PR. So yeah, in that case as well, I think for now UK is definitely better, but obviously UK is a lot smaller than US, so the number of jobs are less. But when you look at the competition is almost the same. So when I say competition, it's number of people applying for one job or number of applications per job. So yeah, that is almost same because more number of people go to US to pursue masters. Also, as mentioned earlier, I want to have MS and then MBA. So which one should I opt for? Or is this plan like MS in US and then MBA? If you want to do MS and directly after MS, if you want to do MBA, then maybe US would be better, because the reason I'm saying is because MBA graduates have less opportunities, especially foreign students in the UK, because there are a lot of MBA graduates in the UK itself, local citizens. So obviously they will have better chances of getting those management related roles. So if you plan to do MSc and then MBA and then find a job, it will be a lot more difficult for you to do it in the UK. Kind of similar thing is there in the US as well, but the job market is a lot bigger, and you will have more managerial related opportunities there. But okay, there is another comment, bro. After MS, a work experience, bro. Right, yeah. So if you are going to do masters and then work for a certain number of years and then do MBA, then I think it's fine. You can choose UK for that. So for example, you do your masters, you work for 4 or 5 years, and then you go for MBA, then I think, yeah, UK is fine. If you're finding this session helpful, please do give it a thumbs up. It really helps me and keeps me motivated to come and chat with you guys. I need to figure out how to show a chat on the screen, probably on the left side or right side, wherever. So I will need to figure that out. I had seen that in the past, but I don't know. Well, I don't remember how to do it. Yeah, I think it will take some time for me to figure that thing out. I think I may have to connect through a third party software. I don't know. Because I can't find the source which shows the chat. But yeah, I can see the chat on right hand side of my screen here, so that's not a problem. But if I could see it on the live feed or the video, it would have been a lot more nicer there. Yeah, I will probably figure that out before next live Q&A, I think. And so if we consider an MS in AI in US and MBA in US after the visa, will I be able to have access to work in UK or Europe? You will have access to work wherever you want, but it's not like you will have a visa to work in UK and Europe. So you will need a separate visa. So for example, you completed your masters and MBA in US, you will have post study work visa for US, not for UK and Europe. So if you are applying for a job in UK or Europe, company needs to agree to provide you a sponsorship. So that's how the visa will work. So you will not have um, access to work in the UK after your masters. But if you're saying after the visa, so if you are saying that you get your green card or PR, whatever, in US, will you be eligible to work in the UK? I'm not sure because I don't know what kind of relationship and trade deals UK and US have. You may have to do a little bit of a research that US citizens or US green card holder, are they eligible to work in UK without any sponsorship or visa required. So that is something which you have to probably search at your end. But if you are asking about having post study work visa after your masters and your MBA in US, will you be able to work in the UK or Europe? No, you won't be able to. And same is the case here as well. So if you have a post study work visa of UK, you won't be able to work in Europe or in US. So AI is the safe game and will have a great career after MS and MBA, right? Safe is difficult to say, but definitely it is a future, and there are a lot more potential in the world of AI. A lot of things happening, and it's ever evolving field. So I would say relatively safe, yes. You look like Felix from Stray Kids. I don't know who that is. Let me quickly Google that. I hope it's not a extremely bad looking character, I guess. Um, I will probably share the screen for everyone if anyone knows who Felix is. So I hope this is the right character which I'm looking for. I do have like small eyes, so maybe that might suggest that I look like this dude, but this dude is definitely very good looking than I am, I guess. It is getting even brighter now, so everything looks like all washed out now. So, um, yeah, I'm sorry. I will probably close the curtain, but I don't think I need to because sun is just keep coming and going. So I'll just leave the exposure like this for now. But yeah, okay. Going back to the questions. Yeah. Um, yeah. Where were we? Yeah, here. So, how was your journey like? Can you explain, like, when you landed and all? Uh, I have explained about it quite a lot in all the videos. If you go through a playlist called MSc Data Science Experience, Newcastle University, I have like so many things there. In short, I started my master's in 2021 and I completed it in 2022 around September, October time. And I got my first job offer after first semester. It was a graduate role. So I had something in my hand. I was kind of safe that at least I have something by the time I finished my master's. And then I started applying for internships and all. So by the time I started my second semester, I had an internship and I took that internship as a master's dissertation as well. So that was good. And by the time I finished my master's or my second semester or my dissertation, I had a second job offer, which was a data scientist role. It was in a startup. I worked there for 3 4 months, but then I was laid off from that company. So after that, I again started applying for jobs, trying to find something. And within a month or two, I think, I was able to find another job where I'm currently working as a senior data scientist. So that was the brief journey of my master's and then finding a job. But if you want to know something in like greater detail, there are just like so many videos out there on my channel. So please do take a look at that. Or if you have anything specific that you want to ask, please do let me know here in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer that. I know them. I also know that they play Genshin. Oh, they do play Genshin, right? I'm still playing Genshin. I don't know for how long, but I think I will be playing Genshin until the end of the storyline because that's what keeping me playing Genshin. But yeah, uh, I think it's a decent game. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you have any follow up question, Athar, feel free to ask. I will be more than happy to answer those. So is so there is this only fuss, bro, US or UK and Trump administration. Every international students to UK, I guess. SWERVES serves every international students to the UK. Different people have different requirements and different end goal. So I still have a lot of my friends working in US, and there are still a lot more people going to US for masters. They might have very good reason to go there. Maybe they know a family member there, they may have good connections there already, probably that's why they are going there, or they may have a completely different approach and end goal. So yeah, it depends from individual to individual. You need to make a decision for yourself, what works for you and what do you think is your uh, is your priority. Based on that, you need to make your decision. I think you're doing good in terms of research, trying to find which place is better and what are the different opportunities. We have been talking for some time now here in the chat. So, yeah, I think you're doing good in terms of your research work. I'm sure at the end of the day, whatever decision you will make, it will be good decision, and of course a very well informed decision. All right, I think we have reached the end of all the questions. I'm not seeing any more questions in the chat. Um, okay, I do see something now. I think there is a lag. Yeah, also, like I have certain plans on building projects after December, so you know that will have different recognition. Yes, of course, if you have interesting project outside of your work, outside of your study plan and your master's curriculum, it definitely helps, because that way you are able to attract um, companies from specific domains and from specific use cases. So for example, if you are working on road sign detection, I'm just taking this example because it was my master's project, so not master's, my bachelor's project. So yeah, if you are working on a, let's say, road sign detection and identification, um maybe if there is a car company who is working on a project for autonomous driving, they might be interested in your project, would like to know more, and if they find your solution really novel and interesting, they might uh, call you for an interview and provide you a jobs there. So yeah, working on different projects definitely helps. It open up a lot more doors for you. Bro, I don't have as that connections as you said that have just uplifted me. I have to work on that as well, like have built a good connection. Yeah, I totally understand, because I didn't have any connections in the UK as well. When I came to the UK, I was the first person to probably leave or go outside of India, uh, from a family. Yeah, so I didn't know anyone in the UK. It was all new to me. I had to do everything from scratch, learn a lot of new things, and build some good connections here, and help as many people as I could, because that again helps me to build good connection. So yeah, I was learning a lot of things, and then um I was trying to provide that information to a lot of people as well, and I think that built that trust between myself and a lot of people I know today. So yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, Athar. So it can be daunting at times, and probably difficult as well. Sometimes you might feel like you don't have a direction, but just take one step at a time, and eventually you will find a way. So yeah, that's what I would suggest. And don't worry if you don't have any connections, you will make one. So from next time we will discuss on this. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I assume we don't have any more questions. If not, have a great weekend, everyone. I will still wait for a couple of minutes so that you are able to hear this message, and then I will close the stream, because there's always some lag. So yeah, have a good weekend, everyone, and keep learning, stay focused, and yeah, I will see you in the next live Q&A next Saturday, 12 p.m. UK time. Bye. Just waiting for that message to reach to you guys before I end the stream. Okay, we have one more question, I guess. We are just 39 minutes in, so we still have some time. So how's everything life like in UK? Like, is it really sorted or struggles? I won't say it's sorted, because when you move to a new country, there are a lot more things you need to figure out. There are a lot more things you need to do. I'm not saying those issues or those struggles are not there in your home country, they are there as well. So, for example, if you want to buy a house, that is something which you need to plan houses are expensive here, so you need to save it for a lot more longer. But then I think the kind of money you make, and if you know how to manage your money, I think you will be able to have the deposit money and money for your house in good time. So it's not a problem, so you'll have to think about those things. Obviously you'll have to manage your finances. Then getting a driving license in a foreign country is again different, because the driving license that you have from India or your home country might not work here, and the way you drove there might not work here, because the rules can be very different here, so you need to learn to those things. But those are kind of things which you get used to anyways. um, of course you're living away from your family, so you know whatever you are doing here, it's all on you, and you're the one who will have to make all the decisions. You'll have to be very independent. So yeah, I won't say that things are sorted or there are a lot more struggles. It's just how life is. You figure things out as and when you go. So I would say, um, for me personally, I think the life is a lot better here for several reasons. First one is the temperature. I just can't handle a heat, and in India, in majority of the places in summer the temperature can go really high, well above 35 degrees Celsius, and in some places even over 40. Majority of the places, I think. Here temperature barely reaches 25 to 30 degrees Celsius in summer. Sometimes when it's just too hot and there are heat wave and stuff, then temperature can go above 30, but that happens rarely. So that definitely works. In terms of standard of living, I think it's good here. Yes, the taxes are quite high, but then I think you get that much in return. You are not paying taxes for nothing. So that again works out quite well. So for me, I think life here is better. Yes, there are challenges, like I said. If you want to meet your family, you'll have to plan for a long time, well in advance, before you make the travel, and then you can't stay in India for more than a month or so. Again, it depends from company to company as well, probably. And I think from visa side of thing, you can't live outside of the UK for more than, I don't remember if it's 180 days or 60 days. We'll have to check that. But yeah, from visa side as well, you can't live in India for very long. But I think 60 days is quite good, if that is the limit. 60 or 90, I don't remember. So that is still quite good. So those things are still there. And if your parents or if your siblings or your friends, they want to visit UK, again they have to apply for visa and all those kind of things, so which takes time. So it's not like you pack your bags and tomorrow you want to go to, let's say, Bangalore from Delhi or from Kota, Rajasthan. You just pack your bag and you're good to go. You can't do that. It requires a lot more planning. So yes, you stay away from family and all those kind of things, but it's just part of the game, isn't it? You just have to manage those things. So in general, I would say, yeah, the life is all right. It's not sorted. It's not like full of struggles. It's somewhere in between, just like how life should be, I think. What is next time? Okay, man. See you next time. Okay, that's great. Good talking to you, Athar, and whoever joined. We had few people initially, but I think we only have few people. So yeah, nice talking to you, Athar. I will see you guys next Saturday, 12 p.m. UK time. We will talk about more interesting things. Have a great weekend. Happy learning, and stay safe. Bye.